For those of you who were brand new to the game, this is what the game used to look like when it was only 30 frames per second. Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, I'm on vacation. You can probably hear in my voice too. I'm a little under weather. It sucks to be sick in paradise, but I'm still having fun. And I wanted to celebrate New Year's with you, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. And I thought, what better way to do it than to be like, why am I so pumped up on MCoC? Why am I so excited? I tell you all the time that, like, look, when sometimes you see me not make a video for a week or two or longer, right? And you check in with me, I'm like, I'm just not enjoying the game. I'm not having fun. I'm not enjoying it. And if I'm not having fun, then I don't want to cover the game, right? Because I always want to be honest with you. I want you to know that if I'm saying, hey, I think this champion's great, or I'm having a blast, or this is phenomenal, or I think this was a great pro player move, or kudos to Kabam, I want you to know that it's genuine, right? That's just me. That's who I am. And I wanted to make this video for you all and also to explain, like, I'm having a blast. Why am I so pumped up on 2025? So I asked my Discord server, I was like, hey, all of you are having a blast. You're here hanging out every day. What are you enjoying about this? So this isn't necessarily going to be a countdown. I want to do the top 10, but again, I didn't want to force things in or box something out. This is what they told me they're having a blast with, and I'm going to tell you whether I agree or disagree. Let's jump into this. The first one here, and that's why we're on Mr. Sinister, is this was listed again by my Discord server. Thank you, all of you, for sharing this information. They said I could share it. They're talking about the improved listening and feedback loop. And I know a lot of you are now like, oh, is this a parody video? It's not. I'm serious. I'm serious. Think back to how things were not that long ago, just this year, 2024. I did videos talking about this combative nature of the relationship from the community team to the players. Now, I don't think that the community team or Kabam needs to baby you. If you come in hot and yelling and screaming and accusing and all that stuff, and they close down a forum, I think that's fine. In fact, I think that's good. I would rather them do that than sit there and argue with all day. That helps no one. That helps no one. And is the community team or whatever going to get on everything all the time? No. Are they going to do all the things I suggest or I complain about? Absolutely not, and they shouldn't. They shouldn't. It's their job to make the game. It's their job to listen to the feedback, decide what they think will actually make things fun, and then move forward as they try to make this game as fun as possible and as engaging from all of us. And it's pretty clear they must be doing a good job. But what's cool is that now I feel like they're treating the players with respect. They're not coming in just yelling at us, shutting us down, or what have you, right? And this is what was provided specifically by my Discord server, was the feedback response action. And here's what they explained. Examples were the saga chases, and this is why we're on Sinister, was originally it was just Nightcrawler, right? And that wasn't that great. And I don't even fully remember it all, but I remember specifically doing videos saying, like, look, the 6-star is going to be better because the SIG's so important to his damage. And, you know, some of you went out and got it. It's a game. Have fun. That's totally, totally cool. But I do recall it being a lot. I remember calling it taking a long time and or being extremely expensive. And they've learned from that. They've made the Saga Chase Champion significantly better and a smoother experience. And also, honestly, Mr. Sinister is bonkers and a way better champion than Nightcrawler. Another one here is the EOP fights, right? Let's go and look at this, as they brought up specifically the Absorbing Man fight. I remember I had to have, well, I didn't have to, he jumped on call and I was really grateful. MSD jumped on call when I was doing that Absorbing Man fight. I appreciated him doing that. It helped me out a lot. I actually enjoyed that fight, got it down in a revive or two, if I remember correctly. That being said, they did tune it, and when they came to the finale, it was changed, right? And they took the feedback. They didn't sit there and argue with us and yell at us and all that sort of thing. And then the last one they brought up was actually the Banquet Crystal Milestones. And I know, again, some of you are like rolling your eyes and stuff, but here's the thing, guys. Many of you were asking me about the Banquet Milestones and asking, like, should I spend my units on Banquet or Cyber Weekend? Now, I specifically told you that I thought that I'd go with Cyber because you knew what you were going to get. Look, we're actually going to get more. As I've said in various videos all the time, on Twitter, on Blue Sky, on community posts, set your budget, stick with it. All this stuff that's material, that's important to the game, is going to come to you regardless anyway. But these milestones was an example of, like, hey, they're like, hey, listen, we want people, this is what I read into it. They didn't say it specifically. We want people to spend a certain amount of units to get the good stuff. We want people to spend a certain amount of money to get the good stuff. It's a spending event. It's a unit spending event. You have all year to grind out units. Campo did a phenomenal video telling people how to use purely units, no money, and still get the Isophene. He did a fantastic job. If you missed out, I get it. I get that you're disappointed. I really mean that. I don't want to see people disappointed. I understand that. I also understand Kabam's side of it, though, is that the idea is to incentivize them spending units or dollars. And what the community team did, or not necessarily the community team, but the Kabam team did, whoever makes these decisions, they took the feedback, they heard us, they made the milestones better, they added more rewards. And then my understanding is that these stretch rewards were already there anyways, they just weren't visible, which kind of makes sense when you think about it, because we as a community have complained about the goals being too far out there, and then the Stark Foundation has to come in. So we kind of created this monster, and now it's our monster to live with. But the point is, Kabam came in, they made this a little bit better, and still did it in a way. Again, like I said, they're not going to do everything we say, but they did a good job of listening, and I thought that made a lot of sense. Thank you, everyone on the Discord server, for bringing it up. Like, something happens, community complains, Kabam takes it. They don't do everything we said or asked for, but they do show that they're listening. They respond. They move on. They're listening. Now, the other thing I want to talk about here is these backgrounds, right, and the 60 frames per second. Here, we'll open these up so you can see. I know this, again, doesn't seem like a big deal, and you know what I do is I will show some gameplay right now so you can see like what it looks like, how fluid it is, and a lot of us forget, right? It wasn't that long ago. It was only 30 frames per second, and I'll show it right here. For those of you who were brand new to the game, this is what the game used to look like when it was only 30 frames per second. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm in a good mood, despite being sick. Like I said, I'm in paradise, but it is a big upgrade. It's 10 years in, and they're still investing. That I would assume took a significant amount of human hours, money to get that going, to implement it into the game. And I know for me, it has made gameplay significantly better. A lot of people are like dexing Bullseye's SB1 now. It looks better, it feels better, it plays better, and that's an important part of the game. And it was said by, I don't recall exactly who on my Discord server. Again, I'm feeling a little under the weather. I'm under the weather. I'm under the weather too. That it's significantly more than a quality of life change, and I could not agree more. And just throw in, it's coming to PC. I'm excited actually about that. I'm hopeful over the course of 2025. You see me really struggling because I want to get better at it, but it is difficult at first because I do think it'll allow me to stream a lot more and those sorts of things. The next one we are going to talk about here is actually the champion design. And let's go ahead and go to the year 2024 because that's what we're celebrating. The champion design team has been phenomenal. There have been misses. That's not what this is about. No one is perfect. And in fact, I like that they are trying things. The game is 10 years old. There are 300 champions in the game or something like that. And here's the really interesting thing for me, as after doing the top 10 in 2024 and then all these videos, it forces me to really think these things through, is they've done a really nice job of making champions valuable. Now, I like Shothra and White Tiger and all this. We've talked about a lot, and you can see Isophine there too, because they are good against Serpent, but they are good elsewhere as well. And I feel like that's another example of how great the champion design team is now, is that they're not just making, okay, here's the problem. Okay, cool. Defeat the problem. Cool. Create a new problem. It's these incremental growths. Serpent was a bit big for me. I'd prefer them be smaller growths, right? Let's do that. But still, that was handled relatively well in the big picture of things. I'm sure things have been learned from that. And it's a gradual increasing of the power budget or the creep or whatever you want to call it. And a champion who was designed to be good against Serpent doesn't now lose all value because there are Serpent counters. I think they've been phenomenal. And also, again, going over all these top 10 lists has shown me a lot of you feel similarly on this, where you're like, okay, cool, I can agree with you that such and such champion is powerful. But for me, this champion that you had in your honorable mention is actually number one. I enjoy them more and I play them more and they're great for me, which fits into the advice we've been given for over 4 years here. Use our tier list as a snapshot, as a place to start your research, but then you got to rank the champion you really enjoy. And if you don't enjoy him, don't rank him because you're not going to play him, and then you're probably going to suck with them, and you're going to be way better with the champion you actually like because you're going to know how to use them. And I think the design team has been doing a phenomenal job of making all these various toys that not everyone may love, but are going to be really powerful and help you do great in this game. And there's enough of them now where you're eventually going to find one you love, and it's going to help you have a lot of fun. The next thing brought up was actually champion buffs. Could not agree more. You know I've been a Luke Cage fan forever. Did the video, the book on Luke. I did Luke Unawakened. I showed Luke against Serpent. I showed so much Luke Cage gameplay. I'm purposely taking a bit of a hiatus, but trust me, the guy's still punching up the battle realm. Phenomenal brawler. And the whole point of this is he's in my top 30 best champions in the game, and he was a buff. He was a buff. If you already had him as a 6-star, you just got an amazing champion. You just got him. Or a 5-star, or a 4-star, or whatever. And then you get the time to pull him from the 7-star. That is phenomenal. I think that's great. It breathes things back into the game. I fully respect that Kabam needs to make money and that they do that through new champions and all. I totally respect it. I get it. I've played this game long enough. I've come to accept these things about how games are now these days, and it's totally fine. But then also along comes these phenomenal buffs, and this was one of them. Ends up being one of the best champions in the game, handling Serpent, one of the biggest, baddest defenders in the game, and one of the biggest problems that's thrown at us. I showed it in the extend meta. I showed it all over the place. Luke Cage is fantastic, and there are more buffs like this. And best I can tell, they're continuing to do this, right? We know that Cyclops is coming. I'm so pumped up for this. Not every new buff's going to land, right? Like Spider-Man, not the best, right? But still pretty good. But some of them and a lot of them are going to be really good. And like we said, the design things, even Spider-Man can do things. If that's what you really enjoy, you're going to pull it off. Luke Cage, perfect example of a phenomenal buff. And I hope Kabam continues to do these. Doesn't have to be every month or anything like that. But continue to do these in the game. They're such great wins for the community. And it's so cool because players coming up in this game that aren't playing the mature end game like I am, likely just have them in their account and they're going to be valuable to them as 4 and 5 and 6 stars. It feels good. It is good, which makes it great. All right, the events. And I thought when they first started, I thought they meant like the events, like the celebration things or whatever. They were like literally the events. The Realm event, again, I know it's a bit of a controversial topic at the moment, and we'll cover that another time. But I think I'd be hard pressed to be convinced that these Realm events aren't phenomenal. I get it that you might not be able to take part in them, whatever. But they've been good, they've been great, and I think it's amazing that these whales out there are going to spend so much money. And a person who followed Campo's video, who put no money in, who just grinded units over the course of the year, accumulated over the course of the year, spends just units because they play the game a lot, they love it, and they're going to get a free Isophene along with all the other rewards. I think it's a really cool way to have us cheering each other on. And I mean, I'm getting all this stuff because these massive whales went out and did this. I think it's cool, and I think it just opens up this sort of functionality, let's call it, or event for future things. I'm a big fan. And then the other one here, it's got to be, I mean, who does not love the Super Daily event, right? You come in, you play the game, you play the mode you want to play, you rank up a champion maybe. You don't have to wait till Wednesday because it's not level up event. You just come in, you get your stuff, you get these XPs. I'm not even going to mention the 7-player 70 level in this one. I think it's cool. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't think it's bad, but I'm not sure I'm in love with it. It's cool. It's cool. And you just come in, you do this, you get your little boost, you get some 7-star shards, you get all the goodies, and you log out. And if you want to play more, you can. But for your 15 to 45 minutes in the game, you get something out of it. You got to play the mode you want. Phenomenal, huge win. Really looking forward to continuing that on in 2025. Now, you know I love the Crucible, and this was brought up, was the non-PvP content. I enjoy Battlegrounds. I really do. You know that. You know I love the PvP. I love the war and all that stuff. But a large portion of this game, probably more of the player game, more of the player base by a percentage way of looking at it, is into the PvP or the PvE, and it's great. And they my Discord server mentioned EOP. That has been phenomenal. I've loved that. I've loved the concept of every other week I've got this challenging fight and I get to try to figure it out and use different rosters, and it provides streaming opportunities. I've enjoyed that. I love watching Karate Mike and MSD and Lags and everyone go in and do these sorts of things. It's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed that. The Karina's challenges, they're actually fun now. I don't feel punished. I'm like, okay, cool. I want these rewards. I'm going to go in. I'm going to get these champions that are better in long form. Hello, Sentry, done ramping apparently. And Nagasta and MCoC Encyclopedia have shown that. And then I loved Crucible. I called it perfect content. gave us a place to use the breadth of our roster, rank up a variety of champions, which is normally where I go to do that. I do that in Battlegrounds. I know not everyone loves Battlegrounds, and the higher level you play it, the more fine-tuned it is, and you can't just play anyone, right? Like Ironheart's not that great there, but I got to use my Ironheart in Crucible. I absolutely love that, and I'm very much looking forward to that continuing in 2025. In my opinion, the Deathless has been phenomenal. My Discord server brought it up. Multiple people brought it up. Not just the champions themselves, and like some, I'm not a huge fan of all of them. In fact, I'm not a huge fan of quite a few of them. But I do think they're cool, and I do think they're fun, and I like how it's very clear their synergies are going to be very powerful, and it looks like there's going to be something we're going to need to do with them, right? And so it's been a year-long collection that is tied in to incursions and to various events. I've loved that. It's felt like it's been throughout the game, its presence, and then of course I'm so excited for this big boy. More champions, more fun, more ways to accumulate them. It's a chase that you didn't have to participate in, but I know I chose to. I know a lot of you chose to do that. It was more incentive to go and do incursions, which I usually can't stand doing. So along with the saga and all of that, I love the design of it. People brought up even like the trailers and the stories and the videos of it all. That is cool. People do enjoy getting into the RPG aspects of this, like the role-playing game. I've thought it's been really cool. I think it looks to me like Kabam is doing something similar in 2025 with the idols. I hope that's what's going on. I really like Isophine as a champion, so I'm very excited about that. But I want to be clear, I'm not confirming that's what Kabam does. I actually don't know, but I'm hopeful of it, and it feels like they're setting the table for it. If not, I hope you've been able to participate in this Deathless chase at 2024. It's been really, really, really cool. I hope you get your Thanos. He's kind of bonkers. I want him. Probably an instant rank 3. And I've loved it. It's felt like its own cool storyline over the course of 2024 in MCoC. And I love this. You guys know me. I'm all about this stuff, right? I've been telling you this stuff for years. I love that, like, day one, in my memory, it was crashed. Maybe it was someone else, but in my memory, it was crashed. Came on the live stream and got through all the BS and was like, you're going to want to do this. It's going to be all year long. You're going to need the 7 stars. If you want to participate, get that done. They told us from the beginning. It wasn't like the rug came out from under us, or like 3 months later, like, what? We had to do that? I didn't know. Why didn't you tell me? It was like, no. On the biggest platform they had to convey information, they went on. They told us. Love that. Keep that up. All right, I'm adding my own little part of this, and we're all going to talk about it, but for me, it's like the Kabam Originals. I think that's really cool. Not only get to cover this game, but I get to play a game that actually gets designed and make champions that exist in Marvel lore. Like, they are part of Marvel lore now. I think that's really, really cool. You got my Chila stuff. Anyways, what my Discord server brought up was like the 7 stars added is playable, but not through the Titan. I do like the Titan. I think the concept in general is working out relatively well. But what my Discord server was talking about was like the banquet pool, Omega Days, CCP Karina's Challenge. And then they brought up the free Chila, the choice of thing, Colossus or Accord. Then there was like even the supply drop. Like we just got 10 champions for free that are incredible. I just used Guillotine 2099 to do one of the Karina's challenges. She was my absolute workhorse and soloed the Silver Centurion with her. I'm going to spoil a little bit. If you watch this, you deserve to know. I took Vox to rank 3. Vox is phenomenal. I'm so excited about it. I'm going to use Vox in another Karina's challenge. Like all of these champions, not all of them came to us for free, of course, but they came in a variety of ways and things that you could participate in if you wanted to. But you didn't have to. You didn't have to participate in the spending events. You didn't. None of these champions, and that's what's cool, and this is going to go back to the bigger things or other things we've talked about, is the game is so big now, and I do feel like, as a whole, from champion design to balance to econ to the community team, Kabam, they're like Thanos, like they've got all the stones now, right? The community team was like so combative before. And like the game was great, but man, you're like, God, you guys have to be such jerks to us. And I realize Kabam's not always going to do what we want. And some of you may feel like this thing is really unfair. And I respect that. I'm not telling you you're wrong. But it feels like the full experience from the player side, from Kabam, they're firing on all cylinders. They've got the gauntlet. They've got all the stones, balance, econ, design, community managers are just knocking it out of the park. The live ops, the whole thing. Things go wrong, they fix it. I've talked about it all. The game has bugs. My iPhone has bugs. Apple has billions of dollars, and I'm still scared to update my iPhone because I know it's going to be bugged somehow. That doesn't mean it's okay for MCoC to have bugs, but again, I feel like they're less, and I feel like the team is working on it. I love this game. If you see me get quiet again, it's probably because I either got super busy at work, or my kids got sick, or I got sick. Maybe it's because I'm not having fun, but check in on with me on the Discord server. I'm having an absolute blast. I'm literally in paradise with my family, and I'm like, I'm still going to take a few minutes to record a couple videos because I'm having so much fun. I hope you are too. List what you're enjoying about 2024, and here's the thing. If you're not, that's okay. I'm not happy about it, but it's okay to let me know. Put it in the comments too. We'll take a look at it. Maybe Kabam will watch this one. I don't know. And they can see it too. Because I know they want to make this game better and better and better. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a phenomenal holidays and a phenomenal New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.